What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to, unfortunately, the final WWE NXT review, the show from April 8th, 2020, taking place at Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. I'm assuming that's where they're at. We're basically routine to the tapings. Yes, it was. I don't know if the same went also with the routines to Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, which I'll get to that later on. But yeah, your commentator was Mauro Naru. He was I'm pretty sure he was home somewhere in his studio, wherever, anywhere he could keep it quiet of his background to do commentary, you know, recorded commentary. Because thank God, man, just give us more of that one with Mauro Naru. I don't care if he was doing that at home, having that instead of these commentators nowadays, that to be honest with you, they don't have any any excitement where pertains to what they're saying on commentary, and it proves that from that last man standing match with Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton, who was on commentary for NXT for a little bit. And as long as you don't give me Sam Roberts, we're good. But at the same time, folks, I got something to say about that too. But I'll save that for later. I'll save it for before I end this review. So that being said, let's get into it. This won't take long by the way. It's gonna be a short review because there wasn't much happening on the show that much. So, but let's get to it. We get a number one contenders ladder match for the 6 women that were a part of this match. Io Shirai, Mia Yim, Chelsea Green being accompanied by Robert Stone, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai being accompanied by Raquel Gonzalez, and Tegan Knox. Match happens. Chelsea Green wasn't that good. Io Shirai, she was good. Mia Yim, she was good. Candice LeRae, she was decent. And props to her for taking that ladder bump too. Dakota Kai, she was decent. Tegan Knox, pretty good, especially with that ladder bump that she took from outside the ring. Chelsea Green, not much to say about Chelsea Green in the match. She wasn't that impressive in this match at all. Raquel Gonzalez went to a table by Mia Yim. Robert Stone got involved, and he gets taken out of his trouble. Match wasn't anything special, but in the end, it was Io Shirai winning. So she's now the new number one contender against the NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, and Io Shirai will get buried, and I will not be there to watch it, unfortunately. But at the same time, who cares? Io Shirai's probably gonna be leaving anyways. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. So yeah, Io Shirai won, and she'll be buried by Charlotte Flair in the future. So we got Finn Balor talking about what happened with Imperium, that whole thing with Marcel Bardell and Fabian Aichner, all happened to him 2 months ago, and we're to him, arriving at NXT UK, pertains going up against Imperium, and then beating Alexander Wolf. And basically Finn Balor is targeting the NXT UK champion Walter, and we'll see how that turns out. It's gonna be unfortunate, folks. Postpone, folks, for that whole thing. But at the same time, you also got the winner of the tournament as well. And Ilya Dragunov, who's supposed to be facing the NXT UK champion Walter. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be at the Takeover Dublin, but it was postponed to, get this, October of this year. Wow. But we'll see. We shall see. But anyways, yeah, I thought it was a good video promo from Finn Balor. He's doing very well since leaving the main roster. Thank God. But at the same time, who cares? They show, these new tag teams that has been led by Malcolm Bivens, who's been called Scully, Scully. I mean to say Scully. I guess I keep forgetting how you say it. Scully Holloway, who's now called Malcolm Bivens, with the whole Bivens Enterprise and that. That's what he's calling his thing. But he's got these new tag teams. They're these big Indian dudes. I'm pretty sure. No, I don't think they're Indians. But then again, they could be, but it could be not. But one of them's name is Sarvagura and Riku Singh, and they're called Indus. That's supposed to be the tag team names. Basically, they have face paint. I mean, it's not much of a face paint that much, but basically war paint in a way. With basically they're knockoffs of the Ascension. Some people say they're knockoffs of AOP. I don't see it that way. All just a pain. Before we get to those teams, also we see a video vignette more of Killer Cross promoting to be part of NXT, and Scarborough is featured in that but not her in the video, but her voice. So, which is why I kept saying to myself at the time, why they haven't debuted Scarborough yet, since we heard that she was part of NXT before Killer Cross, because Killer Cross was doing Impact Wrestling during that time. And now we know because they was waiting for Killer Cross to come in to see if he was going to come in, and sure enough he is. Killer Cross and Scarborough will be debuting together. So, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be. I'll be watching anymore to know about that. So, and to do a review of it. So, they show more of these videos about what happened with Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild being abducted by these luchador masked men. And there you go. Nothing else to say about that. I guess it's gonna be the Lucha Order, the Dark Lucha. I don't know. Basically, it's WWE's way to try to rip off the Dark Order. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but who knows? Who knows? All right, then we get to the Indus Shear being covered by Malcolm Bivens versus Everrise, and match sucked. I couldn't get into any of the other teams, especially the teams that they're pushing. The Indus Shear. The Indus Shear. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. I don't care. They're garbage. They did not appeal to me at all. And the fact that they have Malcolm Bivens to even waste his time to mention these two garbage wrestlers, these garbage tag team wrestlers, it's a fucking joke. Alan Cole had a message. In case I didn't mention it, the Indus Shear won the match, and again, who cares? But Alan Cole had a message for the Velveteen Dream for beating, Bobby Fish, and basically said that that the Dream goes on and says that if Dream keeps pushing, maybe he'll deserve a title shot, and everything, and he's not gonna happen and everything, and that's undisputed, and there you go. Nothing to say about that. We see a replay, well, not a full replay of it, but basically highlights of it, of Rhea Ripley losing her NXT Women's Championship title against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Then Charlotte Flair was being interviewed at the time, talking about, that it's the woman that makes the title and blah blah blah, and I didn't care, and she kept saying bow down, and she said she's the queen and whatever. Then we see Rhea Ripley looking emotional, all teary eyed and everything, and said that Charlotte Flair is tougher than I thought, and I'm like, fuck this. But who cares? She the reason why she had dropped the belt Charlotte Flair anyways, because she had to take her visa and to go to Australia. But here's a problem with that. She's in the United States while this whole situation that's going on in the world with the coronavirus. I don't want to hear that bullshit. WWE did what they did at WrestleMania because they think that Charlotte Flair is a draw, that she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. They think that she is going to be the answer to NXT winning the war, a so-called war against AEW every Wednesday night. And they sacrificed Rhea Ripley, who's the so-called future, just for Charlotte Flair, who's already been willingly established. She did not need that win. She did not need to become NXT Women's Champion. She did not need to go back to NXT. She did not need to beat Rhea Ripley. Triple H wanted Rhea Ripley to win. Meanwhile, Vince McMahon wanted Charlotte Flair to win. And because this man's company, it's his show, represents WrestleMania, of course Vince McMahon's going to get what he wants. Because fuck what Triple H, NXT fans, and me, fans like me, of what we want. It's all about pleasing an audience of one. And on top of that, pleading the entitled, spoiled brat in Charlotte Flair. So I don't want to hear any excuses, any bullshit reason of why Rhea Ripley lost her NXT Women's title because of her visa issues. We're dealing with the whole coronavirus situation going on, where we can't even fucking travel to any other countries. The final beat, the Blackheart versus the Rebel Heart. The Blackheart is Tommaso Ciampa, and the Rebel Heart is Johnny Gargano. So here we go. Let's get to the full details of this match. Johnny Gargano pulls up at a building. Don't know what building it was. It's a location that we don't know of. And Cancer Ray was there driving. No, Gargano was driving. Cancer Ray was right there, and Cancer Ray handed Gargano something, and then she got into the car and basically the SUV and drive off. So Gargano goes into the building. All of a sudden, we see Triple H in the chair, in the middle of the ring. I think it was. Tommaso Ciampa was who starts entering, and then we get the referee Drake. Was basically the senior referee that NXT they got for NXT, who's been in CCW, who's a friend of Jon Moxley, and now he's an official referee, and he's also been put over as one of John Gargano's friends, on NXT and everything. So I actually can't pronounce his last name. That's the problem, folks. I apologize, but yeah, Triple H says is Triple H saying after this it's the last time and blah blah blah. Oh yeah, it sure is to go the last time, especially for me watching this for the last time. So Triple H leaves as the match started. Ciampa versus Gargano, the final battle. They start brawling. By the way, the way it was done, it was cinematic. A cinematic version type of style of wrestling it was. Basically like how they did with Firefly Funhouse, the Boneyard, and how I saw this too. It was basically reminds me of Lucha Underground as well. That type of cinematic feature. So yeah, basically we got another cinematic wrestling going on. Because we didn't get enough of that with the Boneyard and the Firefly Funhouse, because now we got to get one more. Pertains to the one final beat between the Blackheart versus the Rebel Heart. So they start beating each other. They start using and also talking trash to each other too. Gargano repeatedly went to the legs of Ciampa. Ciampa was feeling the pain. Gargano is taking advantage of Ciampa at this point, and especially to his surgically repair neck that he had, and also from his knee as well. Surgically. There you go. Ciampa starts countering. He starts fighting back. Ciampa covers the table on the floor, but Gargano turns it around, stomps on him. Gargano nails him with a suicide dive. Gargano on the apron, and he starts clapping, passing himself on the back. Basically mocking Ciampa. Gargano works Ciampa over and talks trash. Gargano has a trash can lid and takes shots at Ciampa, and he had a trash can over the back of Ciampa. Gargano brings it back in the ring. Ciampa's calling for the chair. Gargano stops him. Gargano is go after the arm, the knees, the back of his neck, and then a chair shot to the back of his spine. And then Ciampa also, Gargano continued all with the chair shots. Then Ciampa counters and goes after Gargano and beats him with the chair. At this point, and then Ciampa, he started doing this. So Ciampa remains in control as he's bleeding somewhat. Ciampa is running with the trash can, against Gargano on the knee with the trash can lid over his knee. He gets a steel chair, opens it up, puts it around the neck of Gargano, and right into the ring post. Ciampa picks up Gargano, then scoops him. Swoop and basically picks him up and swoop him with a wire with the table. Slams him on the back as Gargano was clutching. He got a crutch, meant to say, excuse me. And Ciampa holds Gargano down as the crutch into the throat as he's yelling at him. Ciampa kicks Gargano. Ciampa beats up on Gargano. Gargano tries to fight back. Gargano sprays a fire extinguisher, into Ciampa, and Gargano takes control of it. And then also Ciampa gets back in control. Ciampa grabs a pair of cuffers, and was cutting. Clippers, and starts cutting the apron. The stuff that's covering the ring and everything. It's been done before in the past with a few between Gargano and Ciampa. To basically expose the plywood. Referee was concerned about this. He's like, that's enough. You're going too far and everything. Ciampa enters the ring and starts removing the paddings and everything, and goes to go at the Gargano, and Gargano gets thrown, and, goes out the door. Ciampa follows along. They fight outside. They fight outside. They end up fighting on top. They start fighting to get to the production truck. They got on top of the production truck. Referee follows along with them. Gargano and Ciampa, keep rolling on top of the production truck. All of a sudden, they got down, and all of a sudden they start rolling a little bit more outside. As they got off the production truck. Then they went back into the arena, to that empty, to the empty building they were in, where they were fighting. So Gargano attacks him from the side, leaping off the table. Gargano mounts some punches on Ciampa. Gargano rolls Ciampa onto the exposed ring, and Gargano tosses the trash can and they started loading onto Ciampa. Gargano takes Ciampa on top, and then climbs up there with him, only for Ciampa to fire back at him, and then does the air raid craft, meant to say, off out the ring. Basically off the turnbuckle out the ring. But that's meant to say. Damn, that must have hurt. But these are paddings, outside the mat, the mat. Just saying. They start fighting. After the aircraft, they did. The air raid craft from this crash, meant to say. Ciampa swings the crutch to Gargano, but Gargano hits him with a trash can lid to the leg. He manhandles Ciampa. Ciampa grabs the trash can lid, slams him a few times with it. Gargano picks up the crutch and gives him a crutch shot. Gargano with another trash can lid shot to Ciampa, nailing Ciampa repeatedly. Gargano holds Ciampa up on his knees and super kicks back down to him. Yeah, he hits him in the knees and then goes for super kicks. That's what I meant to say. Not to his knees, but yeah. Gargano starts talking trash. He goes to Ciampa, said that he's a failure as a man, a husband, a father, and then Gargano. And so we're paying for that as Ciampa beats him up. He goes for some running knees. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't do that yet. Ciampa was laughing, actually. He was laughing that Gargano was saying all that to him, and then Gargano went too far by saying you're a monster and saying that your daughter, your Willow, thank you for this. You make sure you thank saying Willow will thank him for this and everything. And then that's when Ciampa went off on him. She went crazy on basically loading on him massively. Gargano ducks a crush shot by Ciampa. Ciampa tries to capitalize, but Ciampa pulls it back across Gargano's face as he's trying to go for a submission win. And all of a sudden, Gargano went to the eyes of the referee purposely. And then Ciampa tried to go after Gargano, but then all of a sudden Ciampa accidentally hits Drake instead, the referee. And then the match still continues on, despite the referee being out. Gargano with a big crush shot to the back of Ciampa. Gargano brings back Ciampa into the ring, only for Ciampa to go for the Widow's Bell, shades of what Ciampa did to Gargano during their times when they were feuding. Basically, everything they did in this match was a flashback of everything that happened, during their feuds. It was great. Ciampa slowly goes to cover him, but there's no referee. But Gargano nails a big super kick, and the Gargano swings piece. Now swings a piece, but then Ciampa kicks out. He kicks him down. I meant to say he kicks him down. I meant to say they both go down, and this is where we get Candice LeRae coming in. She comes in, and she gets in the ring, and she's like, "Stop this!" What, like, and then saying to Ciampa, like, "Are you happy? Is what you wanted and everything?" Like, and she's like saying to Gargano, saying that who are you? Who are you? And everything. And then she goes to Ciampa and say, "Yeah, I hate my husband now. Are you happy and everything?" And then like just finish the job, and then she's like, if you're not gonna finish it, then I will. Then she kicks Gargano in the balls, and then she leaves. And then Ciampa feel bad, went to Gargano and says, "Yo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen and everything, and blah blah blah." He's like, "I'm sorry, everything just happened, And then all of a sudden, Gargano's like, yeah, like, "I'm sorry too and everything," and all of a sudden, not Gargano, Ciampa got kicked in the balls by Candice LeRae from behind, and then Gargano is laughing, and then I see myself, okay, I know now, he's got a cup, he's got a cup to protect his groin, one of those and sure enough, it was, and like that's what Candice LeRae gave to him, the plastic bag, and that she handed Gargano before he entered the building. It was all part of the plan. And in the end, Gargano goes for the fair tail ending to Ciampa. That's Ciampa's finishing move, by the way. And the referee recovers. The referee goes to the count, and your winner in this Blackheart versus Rebel Heart one final beat match, the Rebel Heart, Johnny Gargano wins. So then they start, Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano leaves as they're laughing. Ciampa looking disappointed that he'd been duped. As they're walking away, to go to their SUV, all of a sudden, we see someone in the vehicle as they're passing by, and people spotted them, and people were saying that's gotta be Scar and Killer Cross looking on. Now, obviously we couldn't see fully because I think it was all designed that way, the way that was done. But yeah, that was clever the way they did it. So yeah, we had Scar and Killer Cross sort of debuting there at the end of the show, as Candice LeRae and Gargano drove off, and that was it. And that was the show. So my wrestling was 3 matches. My overall strength for the show, I'm gonna go with us 8.5 out of 10. And before I go, folks, let's talk. This was my last NXT show I'll ever going to watch, and it's my last NXT review I'll ever going to do. Now I'm not for sure where it takes NXT UK. Only time will tell for that one, because I do love that show. But why am I done with NXT now? It's not just because of Charlotte Flair winning and beating Shayna Baszler. Over the years, we've seen a lot of NXT wrestlers coming to the main roster, and a lot of them never amount to anything. Apollo Crews, Jason Jordan, Jack Gable, Robert Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't care if you won the Rumble. I don't care if you won the United States title or the Intercontinental title. They didn't care for him at all. Kushida on 205 Live. Yeah, that's gonna do wonders for him. Not even on NXT that much. Andrade, CM Moments. Yeah, he's United States champion. But let's face it, he doesn't speak that good English. Apollo Crews, Authors of Pain. made them AOPP with the whole thing with Drake Madrick. EC3, Ricochet. At this point now, he's Ricochet because I'm done with him anyways. Funny joke there, by the way. Now let's go with some women's. Asuka, undefeated until she lost to Charlotte Flair. Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler. Pretty soon it's going to happen to Bianca Belair. Rhea Ripley, even though she's still on NXT, but they should show you right there that she's not, someone that to look forward to anyways because she lost to Charlotte Flair. Dana Brooke, because they brought out too early. Carmella, because they also brought out too early. Nikki Cross. Yeah, she's getting a push, but it's not the same Nikki Cross that I remember seeing on NXT. I don't know who this Nikki Cross is. Bayley, based on how they treated her. Sasha Banks, based on how they treated her too. Yeah, she may have been book strong in the way, but look how she was treated. With her Tyra Reigns and with her not being featured that much anyways. I mean, I could go on and on with these NXT people. Adrian Neville, who's Neville, and now he's called Pac because he's sick and tired of the WWE now. Look, the point is, folks, these people on NXT are the future of this company. They're supposed to be the future of the company. They're the ones that are going to be there when we have other wrestlers that are there before them are not going to be there anymore. And what's going to happen when they're not there anymore? That means you got to push new talents. You got to make new stars, which WWE is not doing. And even when Triple H is trying to do that with NXT, when they go to the main roster, they don't feel like the stars. They feel like everyone else on the main roster. Nobodies. Nothing. To the casuals, to the diehards, to the people in the back, those that think they're above everyone. I'm sick and tired of these NXT wrestlers that are there to help this company to grow, to help their legacies carry on, just to them to be treated the way they were treated, not getting the proper push that they need, that they deserve, not getting the proper bill, not getting the proper treatment that they give people like Triple H, John Cena, Undertaker, Goldberg, and a few others. That can't name that much. I don't want to name that much. But the point is, what's the point of NXT if this man's not even a fan of NXT? You think Keith Lee's gonna be something if he goes to the main roster? You think Austin Theory right now who's gonna be something where they say that he's the future? I'll see how they treat the Velveteen Dream if he ever goes to the main roster. Since he wants to go to the main roster so much. And he wants to defend the WWE for that. Tommaso Ciampa doesn't want to go to the main roster. Gargano doesn't even want to go to the main roster. And you think Undisputed Era wants to go to the main roster? Hell no. They got a good thing going on at NXT. But eventually, for those that don't want to go to the main roster, eventually they will get called up. And when they get called up, they'll be just like the rest of the main roster. They'll be afterthoughts, and no one can get over. And you got the fans who are to blame too. These fans that have been manipulated, that are brainwashed by the WWE, what pertains to everything that they're trying to tell these fans who to like and who to not like. They're to blame too, because they allowed WWE to do this to them, to a point where these fans are like They don't care about this person. They don't care about that person, and they're not gonna give that person a chance, no matter what they did outside of the company. Because whatever happened outside that company doesn't matter. What matters is what they do in that company in WWE. If it's not for the E, then it's not for me. So that Rem has been saying, which is a good analogy there. You know, if it's not if it's not in the E, then it's not for me. And you know what? That's the attitude they want. Go right ahead. You're the reason why these wrestlers can't get over, because you're not giving them a chance. You're not allowing them to get a chance to show how great they are. Where it comes to characters, to their personalities, to their to having charisma, of being charismatic, of being great wrestlers, and what they can do, to make it better. But at the end of the day, what do I know? What a wrestling fan like me knows, for who's been watching since I was a little kid. For listening to every podcast, for listening to every reviews, listen to everything that social media has to do with wrestling. Where knowing a lot everything on of backgrounds and everything that's been going on behind the scenes and everything, and also being at wrestling shows, and see how it is, when the camera's not on. And all the lies that WWE has been telling their fans, and fans believe them, because they're sheeps, and they don't know at the end of the day, they don't know any better. So this has more to do than just Charlotte Flair beating Rhea Ripley, and then more than Becky Lynch beating Shayna Baszler. This is the fact that when Triple H is trying to do something good for the company of NXT with these new wrestlers coming in, no matter if they're from the UK, from Japan, from India or Australia or whatever, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. No matter how many times they try and get them over, this man will be there to kill that momentum, will kill that career. And then fans will get sick and tired of it and start leaving. Like I'm one of those people right now. Why you think I don't watch Raw anymore? What pertains to me doing Raw reviews? Why do you think I don't watch SmackDown anymore? What pertains to doing SmackDown reviews? Why don't you think I don't do 205 Live reviews? What pertains to doing 205 Live? Represents watching 205 Live. Now I can't be on doing this. I hate to do this, but I have to. NXT. NXT was the only thing was grasp for me of me to continue watching. But what they did on WrestleMania, and then and years before that, what happened before WrestleMania 36, how they treated NXT stars. You're wondering why I'm getting sick and tired of this, and you're wondering why I'm still watching. And you're wondering people why I'll be start watching now. Charlotte Flair ain't gonna be the answer to boost up ratings for NXT against AEW. Yeah, she may be an established star, but is she a mega star that everyone wants to see? Because she's the daughter of Ric Flair. It'd be like saying Sasha Banks it should be the one who should be the a mega star because she's the niece of Snoop Dogg. And look how she's being presented. I don't want to do this, but what else? I just can't do this shit anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of how WWE is treating the NXT stars and their company in general, which is to having better alternatives within talents that they should be pushing, instead of pushing their own agendas of pushing people that they want to push. And I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm sick and tired of it. All I can say is, at this point, thank God AEW is here. And the only thing that's grasping for me, that's me hanging on to a thread of watching WWE now is NXT UK. And then hear about Jordan Devlin being stripped of the title because he couldn't come to America, for NXT because he's stuck in the UK because this whole dilemma that we're going on right now, which pertains to the whole coronavirus. He still got the belt. And obviously I'm pretty sure they're gonna use a replica belt, make it look like it's a real belt for this tournament that they're gonna be doing. It's gonna be on NXT, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care anymore because what's the point? No matter what we like, Vince don't like. I'd rather watch a product where I get what I want from that one person that owns that company to give us the fans what we want than to watch a company where it tends to send that I want, but the owner doesn't give me what I want. And with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up from there. So thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. So that being said, this was and by the way, what are the odds that I watched the final feud ending between Gargano and Ciampa for this final NXT review? So, that being said, you'll stay well, stay safe, take care of yourselves with this whole coronavirus situation, and I'm out. Ta-ta for now. With other reviews, not NXT.